Hello, beautiful souls. Good morning or good night. Whatever time it is for you. I just got a quick message to give out. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something happened to me yesterday. Okay, and this is where I'll get going. Yesterday, out of the blue, I started feeling really shaky and really almost like not where I was going to pass out, but leading towards that way. And it only lasted about 10 seconds, maybe 10 to 20 seconds, okay? And then all of a sudden, after that, I felt a drop on my head, like, it's almost like somebody pressing their hand on your head. That was like the back of my head, and I would feel tingling. They're sending crown work to you. They're sending spells on you to your crown chakra. They're also doing root magic. I know some things can be embarrassing to talk about, but one thing I learned when they're doing a root, and I believe this is, because I don't know about this magic, but I'm learning as I go, that if you're having trouble going to the bathroom, not number one, but number two, it's a really strong root, okay? But they really don't like the downloads that you're getting. I know if I repeat it and already talked about this, I'm going to a meaning, okay? But yesterday, I felt that, right? So I knew immediately it was energy. With me feeling shaky, like I was going to pass out, it was all energy to make me feel sick. And it almost took me back to a time to where, and this is for somebody else too, this isn't just for me, I'm just telling you so you can know that you could pick up on the signs, okay? They wanted you to look really crazy, okay? Especially after someone passed away in your family, okay? They didn't want you to, somebody left you something. Okay, somebody left you something. Okay, Spirit also too, real quick, they led me to watch the movie Matilda. And if you've seen the movie Matilda, it's about a little girl who was born in a karmic family, a crappy family. She was different than everybody else. She runs into this teacher, Mrs. Honey, who is such a beautiful, nice teacher, and of course there was a principal who was somehow Mrs. Honey's step aunt, something where she ended up still in her Mrs. Honey's father passed away and left her money in a house or whatever. Matilda comes in and helps her get it back. But there was a part that Spirit wanted me, that was showing me, they were writing on the chalkboard of the movie. Matilda had this gift and was basically writing, give Mrs. Honey her money, and no, they said give Bumblebee, because Bumblebee was actually a nickname that Mrs. Honey's father gave to her. Give Bumblebee her money and her house back. But the part Matilda was making her think it like it was Mrs. Honey's father who was doing it, like opening and shutting the windows, throwing her around or whatever, like Spirit was doing it to scare her. Okay, while I was watching that, and I've talked about this not too long ago, that if you're hearing sounds in your house, they're really going to ante up the haunting. I've said this before to the Lord. They're really angry, and somebody has woken up somebody's ancient god, Egyptian people way back from the Egyptian times, okay? Something belongs to somebody, okay? These people took this blood money. Something belongs to an emperor or an empress, okay? This is more than one person's story. So, and Spirit wants them to have it, okay? Now, going back to what I was talking to, they want you to look crazy after someone passed away, okay? Now, for me, okay, I didn't know, back in 2018, I made previous videos about this. When my father passed away, it's like everything changed in my life, okay? I was already the black sheep of my family. I got treated like shit. But it really anteed up when my father died, okay? My family just treated me like shit, okay? And of course, at the time, I was on drugs. Nobody consoled me. I had to grieve on my own. I couldn't understand why everybody was turning their back on me. That's not the point I'm making, okay? and at the time, of course, I was hooked on, heroin or whatever. I was on drugs or whatever. But I remember at that time, though, the same effects that I felt, like the dropping feeling on my head or on my body. The certain symptoms, somebody's doing spell work on you. And it made me reflect on that yesterday about the whole, but back then it was like multiplied times like 1,000 how I felt it back then. Yesterday I barely felt it, okay? And it took me back to a time these people didn't want you to go enjoy yourself. They didn't want you to come around on Christmas, or they didn't want you to go to birthday parties. They wanted you to feel left out, basically, okay? Like I remember I was in the hospital on Christmas one time from spell work. Hit me out of nowhere, and I remember that dropping feeling. Or my granddaughter's first birthday, I remember right when I was about to go, I got sick out of nowhere. I got that shaky feeling, and I had that drop feeling. Okay, I'm a point. Pay attention. Okay, these people want you to stay in your house. They want you to stay hidden. And yesterday, somebody sent me something, and it took me back to that time. These people was around you, okay? Somebody who's around you, who's got their eyes on you. Many people is doing spell work on you, but there's somebody who's around that is watching, waiting for the effect, and they see that it's not affecting. And I ran across a reading yesterday that brought about it this morning, and it's crazy how yesterday this happened, and it made me reflect back on everything about how these people watched and they thought it was funny. They thought it was funny that you were going through this. All the time you're thinking you're going crazy, you're going to the doctor, nobody can tell you anything. And by the way, some doctors do be knowing what's going on, but they just can't say anything, okay? You can't find anything wrong with you because it's all spell work being done upon you. Okay, these illusions are, they're not working anymore. Somebody has woken up somebody's spirit team from the Egyptian goddess. I'm telling you, so far back yesterday when I felt the spell work coming on, I listened to I read Psalm 91, and I did a return to sender, and I was thinking in my head while I was doing the return to sender, and my spirit team, I could hear them saying, they're so pissed, they're tired of this. So I don't know how that return to sender is going to work out, but there was a return to sender I did yesterday. Remember, return that energy back. If you're getting sick, now listen, I'm not a doctor, okay? But just pay attention to certain symptoms. If you feel like a dropping, like a heavy drop, it's almost like a weight drop, or that's the one symptom I could tell you that I could really, I connected on how I felt. The dropping sensation. It's almost like something dropped on my head, but I couldn't see it. Or something drops on your leg. When I was going through spell work in the past too, I remember my legs, I was limping, and I remember that it was a dropping sensation. It's spell work. Okay, I'm telling you. Pay attention, okay? And do a return to sender on that, okay? Send that back out. Call your energy back. Take your spiritual baths. I'm telling you, they do not want you to get these downloads, because it's like every time they do something, the Spirit's giving you the download of what they're doing, and they're angry. So I just remember yesterday specifically, it had me reflect on all the signs of all that, everything that I went through was all spell work. Even heart palpitations, okay? Last week, for a matter of fact, they send work to have, where they want your heart to beat to where you have a heart attack, to where your heart just stops, okay? But you're not feeling that as you did. It's not God's blocking, protecting you, where you're not feeling it like you used to. Okay, so make sure you stay in prayer, take your spiritual baths, cleanse your crown. Okay, put you some sea salt, wash you with the sea salt on that crown. Okay, stay in prayer. I'm telling you, Psalms 91, if there's any verse in the Bible, Psalms 91 is the one you need to read, because I'm telling you, when you stay in prayer and you give thanks to God for it, it works, because God is going to show these people, touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. But that's all I want to come on here and talk about it. But yes, somebody sent something yesterday, And it just took me back on a reflection of, you know, it seemed like every time when there was a special occasion, somebody wanted me to get sick, like the way I felt yesterday, to where I wouldn't go. Or even when you had a job and you called in, okay? Because I could think about in the past too, where I had a job and I called in, where I used to call in a lot. Probably once a week, because I would feel sick or tired. They were doing spell work for you to do that, so you wouldn't go into work. So pay attention to how you feel, because I pray that whoever this is for, and it's for a lot of us, because you'd be surprised on how much spell works get done. You know, I literally, have people do spell work on me almost every freaking, or every moon cycle, literally, for so many years. But God's really going to show who his people are. So I just wanted to come on quickly about that, because it's like Spirit pushed me to put that, like wanted me to know yesterday when I started to feel that feeling, which I didn't feel it that much. It was just a little bit, but I felt that drop immediately. Like Spirit was saying, look, remember how you felt like this in the past? And my nose was starting to itch like crazy. Remember how, spiritual work, confirmation. Remember how you felt like this in the past? And you felt that was all spell work being done on you, okay? That's all I wanted to do. Happy Friday, guys. 323, all during one. Peace, I'm out.